it's loud and clear. Okay. Um, so I muted one of the microphones. I think it would have created the loop. Okay. So today's topic is alternative for Paint for Photoshop. Photoshop, as everyone knows, is an industry standard for photo editing, and it is a very versatile tool. You can get a lot of functionalities in Photoshop, but then again, it's a paid version. You have to pay for that, and not everyone needs to use all the functionalities unless you are totally into editing high level photographs. For people who just want to use some of the capabilities without going that much deep in Photoshop functionalities. There are other free alternatives, but I found this paint.net to be a very good one. And also it's a free tool. To download it, all you have to do is go to Google, search for here you will get a option to download paint.net. Just go for a typical installation. The installation process is very simple. Just after download, just double click on that exe and it will start installing. If it prompts for type of installation, select the typical installation. Top screen. So let's get started. So after you have installed paint.net, just select typical installation from programs, files. You will be able to start this paint.net. Here's the name. You can see it's paint.net. Depending on what time you install the software, the version may vary, right? So the one which I had installed is 4.2.1.2. I have been using paint.net in a lot of to create a thumbnail, whatever thumbnail I have been creating, plus what are banners that you are seeing, what are YouTube banners that I post, banners like the one you see on the Facebook. Those had have been created using paint.net. Okay, so I believe this square is causing some issue. Let me try to delete this. Okay, let's not finger. So once you open this paint.net, this is the interface that you see. You can see there are menu bars up here. There is toolbar on the left hand side with all the options. On the right hand side there are few stuff. So to start with, you can see you can toggle here, right? Tools. If you click this, see the left side toolbar just uh, became invisible. So this is the toggle switch. You can, if you want to hide the switch, hide the toolbar, you can do it from here. Uh, this is the layer panel. You can see on the right hand side, the layers panel. You can toggle it here, and this is the color panel. You can toggle it. So these are the three panels. Mostly use three panels. So I have selected these three panels. If you want to make other panels visible, all those things also you can go and make it visible by going in edit and selecting the option, or you can select from here as well, right? So for our work, it's mostly these three panels which are needed. So by default, it opened this canvas. If not, you can always go and select a new. Okay. So like Photoshop in paint.net also, it provides a concept of layer. So what does layer mean? What we see here is a canvas with a white background, and just below here you can see add new layers. What layers means is it's like you are putting a layer of a transparent sheet on top of your drawing board, and you can actually draw on that transparent sheet and then you can merge it down. And it is always a good practice to make whatever new things you are making on a new layer. If you do it on background, it will become difficult to change later on. You will see as we proceed. Okay, so just click on this new layer and you will see this layer come up, and the gray and white boxes here, it shows that it's a transparent layer, right? So let's say we want to make this color this layer, so we'll come here and we'll select the paint bucket. Okay, which color you want, you can select the color from here. Let's say we want a red color. So now here it shows red is the foreground color, white is the background color. What does that mean is whatever action you do, the color on the foreground will be displayed here. Okay, and not the color here. Now if you want to revert back to black and white, just click the two boxes below here and it will revert back to black and white. If you want to select any color, just select that color. So here I have selected paint bucket. So let me pull this color tool section here so that it's easier for me. Okay, and I have selected the paint bucket and boom, here I go. So now I see a red layer is applied on top of my new layer, right? Now there's a checkbox here. What does it do? If you uncheck that, that layer becomes invisible, right? So you can toggle it around with this. So if for some reason if you are done with this layer and you want to make sure by mistake you don't make any changes to it, just unhide it and later on you can again make it visible once you are done with it. So that is one thing. Now let me go through the tools here. So this one is a selection tool. So let me pull in a picture in image so that we can edit few stuff here. So for that, either you can go to file, or once you have already opened canvas, you can import a new picture by going to layers and import from file. Okay, just go select import from file and you can import any picture. Let's see, say we import this one. Okay, so because we inserted this picture from layer, it has created a new layer by default, and that is a good practice. Always put a new thing on a new layer. That will give you flexibility in case you want to revert back to a different stage, or if you want to make a lot of editing on that layer, you can just discard that layer without discarding the whole thing, the whole canvas, and just that layer will be impacted, and you will be good for it. So yeah, so now this is the selected one. So I will just click here to unselect it, to deselect it. Now you can see if I uncheck this, the red layer is gone. I can always uncheck the background also. So now it will be a transparent thing. Now here in this image, I don't want this white background, right? I want it to be red. So what do? I go ahead and let me select this magic wand tool. This is a magic wand tool. It is very powerful tool, and click on this white section. So here you see it has selected only this white section of this particular layer. Okay, Before making any selections, you have to make sure that correct layer is selected. This is a very confusing thing for new persons. Most of the time they are on a different layer, and then they try to edit a layer which is not active, and they say that it's not working. So says he can't hear. Can anyone else confirm if voice is clear? Dino, can you confirm his voice is clear? So let me make one setting change. So we were on this magic wand tool. So this magic wand tool, what it does is it selects the color of this particular type. And here I have selected the white background. So Bhavar, others have confirmed that voice is clear. Please check from your side if there is some problem with your device. And now this has selected only the white background, and I don't want this background. So what I do is I just press the delete button, right? Delete from the laptop screen, and here you go. The white background has just vanished, right? Wasn't that simple? Same way we will delete all the other white background. Depending on what is your tolerance level, it may select more area, it may select less area. So you have to, depending on your need or for your ease, you can set that tolerance level. Normally 50%, around 50% is good. Otherwise, it may select a lot of stuff which you don't want it to select. So you can see that even the teeth is white, but still it's not selecting the teeth, but it's selecting this here because of this tolerance level, right? So here you go. Doesn't that look good? Now we have deleted the background of this image, and if you look at this layer, it has become a gray and white uh, check boxes saying that the background layer is transparent now. All right. Now let's uncheck this red and this, and here we are on this image on the transparent background. Now any background color which you put now, it will appear here. Now let me, even though this image is selected, it is visible, but here layer 2 is selected. So whatever I do, it will be affecting this layer 2, right? So let me put this. So here you see nothing happened to this image, even though that this I clicked on this image. The color of this image did not change. What changed was the layer which I had selected. Okay, now it has become a blue layer. One interesting thing is you can also select a gradient thing here, or you can, if you have saved your some color palette or something, that also you can import without doing the same thing again and again, right? So right, so that was about color, and so we imported an image on a new layer. We changed the background. Let's see what else we can do. Okay, so this is the selection tool, right? So again, if you want to select this, you can select this one, right? So since I am on layer 2 and I have made this selection, let's see what happens. So this is a tool with here, if you mouse over it, it will give you the option move selected pixels. Let me select this move tool and see what happens. See, it has cut the background layer, right? Because I am on layer 2, that action was done on layer 2, not on layer 1. Okay, let me just undo this. all the window commands work on this. Control Z is for undo, or you can always go here and click on undo here. Let me go back to layer, this dino layer, the on the layer on which the image is there, and let me select it now and let's see what happens. Okay, I have selected this using the square tool, and now let me click on the move tool and see what happens. Here you can see now the image is moving, not the background, right? Because the image layer is selected. Okay, so this square select tool, and there are some other tools also for selection. Let us go there, and this little option here, you can just click here to deselect, or just press the escape key. That also deselects the image. Let's go to this lasso select tool. This is another selection tool. So in square tool, before going to lasso, let's go to this elliptical select tool. So these are pre size already set. Like you can create a circle or a square, the selection using this square and this tool. Okay, and with lasso tool it's a bit different. So here you can see again I was able to select it, but then the circle left this area, so that area just stays there, and the other area I'm able to move. So let me just undo this, either control Z, or let me just undo from here. Okay, I don't want this selection. So that was the square and ellipse select tool. Lasso tool is very powerful in case if you want to select a very particular portion of that image. You can click on this lasso tool, and let's say I just want to select teeth of this dino. Okay, so this is the image of the lasso tool. It's like a rope kind of thing, and I click it here and keep the click on and just drag it. Okay, left click and drag it. Don't leave the left click till you are completed. Here I have selected its teeth. Don't worry about this other line. This line will change as your cursor moves. So here I have selected this area, 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 this area, and as when you leave your left click, then only that selection starts. Now I have left my left selected. Now we have a dino, a dirty dino with dirty yellow teeth. Okay. That was the power of lasso tool. If you want to work on a particular area, a small area, you can select that. So with practice, you will be able to make a very good selection using less move selection. Okay, so let me select this, and it is just moving moving this square area, right? Okay. So this is useful if you don't want to cut the thing, but just if you want to just move the selected area. Let me do that again. Okay. Let me, now this one is on the dino layer on the image, and this should select the image, and let's see what it does. Okay, so we'll come back to this tool. I think I'm using it in the wrong scenario. I'll will touch base on that soon. Now this tool is zoom tool. As the name suggests, you can select it and you can zoom the image. Okay, just press the control key and click again. Okay, so if you click on it, it just zooms, and you can again. Okay, so don't zoom it now, as I have zoomed it too much. It has pixelated, and this is the image for pixelate, and this is what it shows. So let me undo this. So you may need to zoom it depending on if you are making some selections. Okay, so Let's unzoom. How to unzoom? I have selected the control. Normally control should do that. Let me select shift. Again shift is not working. Okay. Okay, so we have zoomed in too much. Okay, so here you can see there is a slider. You can zoom using that tool, or you can zoom using this slider also, right? So just have a eye on this slider. Let me click on this zoom again. See that slider is moving by itself. Either I can control it using that zoom tool, or using this slider, or the tools here, right? If I press on minus, it will decrease it. If I press on this, it will increase the size. Right. So you can press escape to deselect it, or you can always click on this one. We were talking about the gradient color. What is a gradient color? Now what we see here in the background is a solid blue color, right? Now if I want to have multicolor, so select this tool. Now what colors are selected? Yellow to white. So my gradient will go from yellow to white. So I left click here and I drag it in one area, and here you can see it starts with yellow and it finishes in white. Okay, so say I can make it change it darker, full yellow, less white, whatever, like. So all you have to do is click on this, select this tool, select the colors, left click on it. Again you can apply it from here, left click on it and just drag it. Okay, drag it till you get the the correct shade you want. You can play with this color. Let's say you want it from violet, and then you want it to go to green. Okay, so what I did was I just clicked on this top box and selected the color. Then I clicked on this background box and I selected the color, and the two colors got selected. And you can see now it has changed from violet to green. So that is called a gradient layer. It looks very good here, right? So Bhavar Singh, is there any software or inbuilt in computer Photoshop? So there is a paint software which comes pre-built with Windows, but it's not very flexible as Photoshop or Paint.net, right? So you won't be able to do a lot of things in those software. Those softwares are good, but very primitive. But if you want to go ahead to advanced version, it's better to use Paint.net if you are looking for a paid for a free version. And definitely Photoshop is a very good paid tool. It has got a lot of flexibility, right? So here we saw this gradient tool, and then there is this pan tool. You can just rotate the canvas by selecting it just anything which I'm doing is by left clicking the mouse button, or left click on your laptop, and just uh, drag it to make it work. And okay, now we have seen okay, paintbrush. A paintbrush, again the way it is, if you want to paint a particular area, just select this paintbrush tool, select what color you want in the foreground. Again, as I told, you can always click on this to convert it into black and white. If you want white to be foreground, just click on this and it will become white. And here we have selected a paintbrush. Here is one interesting thing. You can increase or decrease the width of your paintbrush here. So let us select first 5, and our color is white. Okay, here it is. And now let me go and select 65, and here you can see the difference, right? So the width, as the width of the brush increases, the same thing is here. Again, here in slider you can see it's 100%. That is the hardness, right? Let's put it to 43 and see what hardness means. So it softens it, right? Here it is very hard, like you are doing it with a hard brush, and as you reduce this hardness, it is more of a like painting it with a soft hand. Let's decrease it further, and see the difference. Okay, so that's the thing. I don't want this to happen, don't want to keep this, so I'll just undo it. Here you go. Now it's eraser tool. Eraser, as the name suggests, and it works similar to the paint, but only thing is instead of painting it erases it, right? So whatever size you can select, hardness you can select, and just do it. So why it's coming white? Because my background is white. If I unselect this, this transparent will come, right? So what it is doing is the eraser is erasing that portion of the image on the layer that I have selected it. So I don't want to keep it, so let me just undo it. Again, the pencil tool, if you want to draw something, or that's what you can do with the pencil tool. Now let's go to black and white, black mode, and you can write stuff with pencil. Okay, and let's not go to these are bit advanced version. Let's stick to very basic at this point of time, and you can play with these options. So lighten means it will draw a very light thing. Normal is the normal pencil thing, and you can play with these options. So let me undo this. So depending on what scenarios, which tool you want to use, you can do that. The next tool is this a color picker tool. This is very interesting tool. Let's say if you want exact color, uh, you let's say you have painted this as green and you want this green to be everywhere, but you are trying to find it from here, but then there is some shade difference in that green. So what you can do is you can do this color picker tool. Click on the color you want. Here you can see now it has taken this color, right? Let me show you again. Here now I'll click on this violet thing, and here it has changed to violet, and then you can always go ahead and just apply that color there, right? Since it's a gradient, it has taken a different color. If it would have been a solid color, this color would have taken. Okay, so let me undo that. I don't want to do this one. Next tool is clone stamp tool. This is again a very powerful tool. So what a clone stamp tool do is it will clone whichever area it is selected. Okay, so let's say it's like a stamp. If you have a stamp with something printed on it, you just stamp it and it gets printed on multiple areas, right? So let me show you how to do this. So let me select this clone stamp tool and make the hardness to 100%. The width size, let me increase it to a big one. Okay, so in this clone stamp tool, first you have to select here the area which you want to clone. Okay, so normally in photo editing, if you are touching up on a photo, you need to select an area which is very near to that picture, so that the color difference is not there. Let me show you. So I have increased the brush width. Depending on your requirement, you can increase or decrease it. And I left click on this line. Okay, I have just left clicked on this. Okay, so what it could not select because the area is not set up. So I'll say okay, why? Because I have selected on layer 2. Let me go to layer 1. Okay, on with this images, and now let me click on this. All right, so why it's not working? Okay, let me try to do this. All right, so control click to set anchor point. My mistake. So you have to click on the control button, okay, and left do a left click. Now it has set the area which now you can see. This is the area which it will clone. Now I am moving my cursor here and I am left clicking and dragging it. You see what it's doing? Wherever this left side cursor is moving, it is just cloning the same thing on the right side also, right? Let me show you again. Let me undo this. Select the clone tool. Let's say I want to clone this whole thing. So instead of copy paste, I'll just clone it. I have selected a big brush size so that it covers the whole thing. I'll just press on control and click it here. Now this is set as the area which it will copy, and then I left click and I drag it down into the other area, and here it has cloned it. This is a very powerful clone tool. Let's hope I'll try to do it more when we are doing a photo touch up kind of thing. Let me decrease the brush size because we hardly need this big brush size. So okay, so that was the clone tool. And this is the recolor tool. So let's say let me select this green color and click on this recolor tool. So here it will give me a lot of options what I can do, and then hardness, tolerance, and then I can use either the paint bucket or some other stuff to color it. Okay, so let's just undo this. All right, so let me click here to deselect it. Okay, now comes the text tool. Now that your image is ready and you just want to put some text there, so select this text tool, select the color of your text. Let's stick to black and white, and here from here you can select the font, what font size you want. So let's say you want a bold font, so let me select Arial black. Okay, and from here you can select the size. So let me and click it here. Always as suggested, always create a new layer. For text also you can create a new layer and click on it, and one thing is, as long as this cursor is there, this will be in your control. You can change the font size, font type, font size. You can make it bold. You can change the color. Let's make it red. Okay, now that cursor has moved. Now, now you lose the control, right? See, nothing is happening now. So as long as the cursor is there, now a new cursor has come. That means it's a it's a new line. Now you won't be able to do this, edit this. If you want to edit it, the best way is to go ahead and delete it rather than trying to edit it and write a new text. So this may take a bit practice because we are used to typing, used to Word the way Word behaves. Just type and then edit it. But here the thing is, if, as long as cursor is there, you can edit it. But as soon as the cursor is gone, now that cursor is there, you can make all those changes. Okay. But as soon as the cursor is gone somewhere, now cursor is here, now you won't be able to edit it. Okay, so this has become a new line. But by clicking on the new line, you can select a new color, new thing, and start typing again. This is the text tool. Always remember to, if any changes, any new change you need to do, just take it on a new layer. Okay, now let's say I don't like this text or whatever things I have done, so I can just unselect it, or altogether if you want to delete this layer, just select on this layer and click on this delete layer button. Okay, so here it will delete the layer. The other is duplicate layer. Let's say I want to keep a copy of this. I am satisfied with what I have done, but I still want to try out some new things. So just to keep our work, keep a backup of it, I'll just click on this, and here it has created a background, and I'll just uncheck this. so that nothing happens to this layer, and I can play around with this layer. And if something if I mess up with this thing, I can just directly delete it, and this other layer will be there. This other layer will be there intact. All right. Then there are these shape tools. The way the name suggests, the shape tool. You can select whatever shape you want to draw. Let's say we want to draw a ellipse. If you press shift and drag it, it will create a perfect circle. If you don't press any button, just left click and drag it, you can place different stuff here. So you can do around this. You can also merge these things and all those stuff, right? So this was more on the uh, shapes tool. Okay, so we that was the basics of everything, and like we basics of the tools that is there. And now let's jump into creating something. So either I can create a new layer and keep on doing it, or I can just close it from here. Okay. Okay, let me show you one thing. Now let me go and click on a new. It will ask the size. You can click on maintain aspect ratio. What it means is if anyone, if you increase the length, the width will also increase by default with it. So if you want it that way, you can select this. Otherwise, you can just go ahead and click on the OK button. So here you can see the old canvas is also there, and the new canvases have come, right? So this is also one good thing. If you are working on multiple things and you want to copy from one canvas to other, you can keep this canvas open, or you can close it from here. It will prompt you to save it. So let's say I don't want to save it. Here you go. Save it went away. Okay. So here is the new canvas with the white background. Now let's see. I want to create. Let's say the text I have been putting on my YouTube. I want to create that kind of poster kind of thing. So again, I'll click on this add layer. Go. I'll select the color which I want. I'll use the paint bucket, and here's the color. Again, I'll go select a new layer. I select the text. Normally I use the bold text. So there are a lot of options on the text. I can select either Arial black or whichever font you size you like. So impact, I normally use the impact, and then I select a big number. Let's say I select it 60. You can change the size directly by typing it here. Why it's not visible? Because my font color is same as the background color. So let me change it to black and white. First line, either I can press enter and continue typing this. I want to use some other color, other font, and just I'll click out of it, or I'll select on some other tool, and I can come back to this tool. And now this is a new cursor now. Okay, I can select a different font, a different color, and as long as cursor is there, you can edit it. So I can bold, unbold, I can click it here, place it in a different way, different place. Okay, here I go, and I can press escape to unselect it. Now let's see if I want this does not look aligned and I want to align it. So I'll go ahead, select this, and now let's use this tool. Okay, let's use this. Okay, this is not what you want. You want to delete this one. Select this and press delete. Here you go. So those stuff you can do. And again, if you want to have a image here, so again I'll put a layer here. Okay, I'll go to Google. I'll open Google. Or you can directly copy it and you can bring to the paint.net. We have a new layer and you can just paste it here. Okay, this white background, so what I will do is use magic wand, select the white. Here you can see it has selected some portion of her hair also. I don't want that, so I will you can see now it is just picking up the white color. Now it has selected a lot of things. Now it is reduced, it is reducing the intensity, and it has now just stuck to the white of the similar type, and let me press the delete. So here the background color is gone, right? And let's say, so I have done this in a different layer. Double click on this layer, or what you will get a lot of properties here. Double click on the layer, increase the opacity. Let's say if you want this image not to be very prominent, you can reduce the opacity, and you can play around with this. You can play with overlays. Overlay means the background color will take precedence on it. You can select normal. Again it will it has become normal. Okay, so we just took one image and deleted the background, and then we created this thing. Okay, now again I want Alia to be placed in a better place, so let me select this, let me select this tool, and okay, so here it option gives us the option to rotate the image, or we can just pull it here and we can place her here. All right, so that was this way you can create your banner, pamphlet, those kind of thing. We can do photo editing also. So let's jump to photo editing. Please type if you want me to cover anything else, or if you have any questions around whatever we have seen so far. Um, and now let's jump to photo editing. Okay. So for that, let me take again. You can create a new canvas by just directly clicking here and say OK. So this stays here, and this is a new canvas. If you want a bigger one, you can mention the size, or let's go from here, and okay, let me close this, let me close this, and let me close this as well. Okay, so this time let me show you some options of save. Now it has save this image. Okay, and let me click on save. So now what this image have is this canvas have a lot of layers, right? You can see we have 4 layers, and just look at the format PDN. It's the paint.net format. Okay, so if you save it in PDN format, all the layers will be saved, will also be saved. Okay, but then this is not your image. You cannot upload this image on any of the website or any of other areas, because this is PDN format which is not supported uh, any other by any other platform. So what you have to do is you have to select PNG, JPG or other format which is supported by other tools. But if you select this, let's say we select PNG and say this and click on save. Here it will ask you a few questions. Let's go auto detect. Okay, and click on OK. And now here it will see flatten the image. What it will do is it will get rid of all the layers and it will make it into single. So let me click on this, flatten this. So here you see all the layers have gone. Now you can access it from file, open recent. So here we can see all the layers have gone and it has saved it as PNG, and this I can share it across any other platform. But then if we again come back here and we want to make any changes to a specific layer, we won't be able to do that. So it's always a good option to save two copies of it. First in a PDN format, that is a paint.net format, so that you can play with layers. And then the other is you can merge it into single. So let me undo this. Okay, so now I won't be able to undo this because it has been saved. Okay, so that is an important thing. Always keep a copy of the layered one in case in future you have to go ahead and make changes. So let me take a new canvas now. So these were let me take 5 by 5, 5 by 5 and say okay. Okay, and let me close this one. Right. So now again I am here with the white canvas. Color a picture, right? We just saw how we can remove the background or all the stuff. Let's go ahead and color the picture. Let's color uh, colorize it. So I have taken a new layer and let me paste it here. All right. I can always press shift and drag it to increase the size. See here it is increasing both in an aspect ratio. If I don't click on shift and I just drag it, it will drag in the, it won't keep the aspect ratio and it will do the things the way I have dragging. So it's always advisable to keep the aspect ratio same, otherwise it may distort the picture. Here you can see, right, since the background color and his face color and all the stuff were similar, it is selecting a lot of things. So here you'll have to use your imagination, or you can use some other tool. Let's say let me select this square tool and delete it. Okay, and the same thing I can do over here, delete it. There's some portion here. Let me use last. So when you are doing any photo editing, it's always advisable to do it in a zoomed mode because that gives you much clear. So guys, if you have any questions, do type it in your question. I'll be answering it while I'm doing this thing. clicked on this, my layer is layer 2 selected. That is the layer on which I have the image pasted, and I have left clicked and I'm just tracing the outline. Okay, it may need some practice. I'm not going to do a very perfect job because that is sometimes time consuming. Since this is just a demo thing, a training tutorial kind of thing, you can be very careful while selecting it. And here you go, here you go, here. All right, so here we have selected young Mr. Gandhi, and I can do a copy. I can press Ctrl C. Go. So here we have removed the background. Okay, so you need to be very careful. You need to be more precise. Either I can select the eraser tool, just zoom it, zoom in, and try to remove this. Okay, I am on the correct layer. Colorize it. Let me zoom in. Okay, so you can always click on this. So Bhavar Singh, can we change the face color? Yes, we can change the face color. That's what I'm going to show you now. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just get rid of the extra part, and here we go. Okay, so I'll show you how to change the color. So first let me take his coat. Let me again go to lasso tool. First I'll colorize his coat. Let me first select his clothes first, then I'll go to face is a bit tricky, but just to show you the concept, I'll first select his clothes. Here you go. Okay, so here I have selected this thing. Again, what I'll do is I'll copy it and I'll put it in a layer in case we mess up with anything. So I have copied just the code. You can actually on this and you can actually name the layer also. Let's say now I'll work on this layer. I have just kept this layers as intact as a backup copy, and this one have just the code. I'll just uncheck this and you can see it's just the code here. Okay, now okay, let's go to this paint bucket and let's say I want Mr. Gandhi to wear a dark blue suit. Let's select this color. I'll select this paint bucket since this is already selected. Let me click on this. Okay, because the tolerance level is so less, it's not doing much. So let me increase the tolerance level. Okay, here you go. Okay, so this looks bit artificial, right? I've just taken a paint bucket and put it here. It looks a bit artificial. So let me go on this layer on which I have painted it. Double click on this, and here are some options. You can decrease the opacity a bit. All these things again, it depends on your skill. One thing is just select the overlay. Okay, and this will take the color. Either you can make it reduce it, increase it. Overlay is a very important option. You will see it more once we try to color the face. And here we go. Okay, you can add some effects. You can go to advanced, and okay, so Bhavar Singh asked which tool you use to select. So it's this lasso tool. Okay, this is a lasso tool. uh, we could have used other tools, but then the lasso tool gives me more control. So again, I'll select the hair and the face, and then I'll show you how to colorize that, so it will be more clear. So it's always advisable to add some blur also. Let's select this Gaussian blur, and let's blur it out a bit to make it look more natural. And okay, so here we go. So that's the clothes is colored. Let's go to face now. Again, I'll just unselect this, deselect it. Face is a tricky thing, so just bear with me. I may not be able to get it on the first time, but let me give it a try. So Babar, just have a look at this. This is a lasso tool, okay? The lasso select tool that I have selected, and this tool helps me trace the outline. So let me just pick the face now. Okay, so here we go. I am not doing it very precisely because it will take a lot of time. Let's avoid the hair and let's just take the face. So you have to be careful if you want a very good output. You need to be very careful in the selection, and that will happen with the practice. More you practice, the better you will get. So what I have done is I have left click on it and I'm just tracing it out. Okay, okay. So let's take till this part. Okay, now the face is selected. Again, I'll copy it. Control C to copy. I'll put another layer and I'll do a control V. Okay, and let's remove this. Okay, so it did not copy because we were on the different layer. Okay, so let me see if it works here. Previously we were on this layer, so it did not have face. This layer had face, so I have to move it here and copy from here. Now let me unselect this layer. Let me unselect other layers. Now we have only face. Okay, let me double click on it and write the name. This is important, the naming of the layer. If you are working on a picture, uh, you will end up having a lot of layer, and then if you try to work on a particular layer, it may become a bit difficult. Now here we have the face. Now the thing is, the face also have eyes, eyebrows, mustache, and all the stuff, and all these things cannot be of the same color, right? So what we will do is, let's say, since eyebrow, eyes, these have different colors. Oops, let me control see this. Let's make let's select this out there. Let me deselect the face. Okay, now let me just select the mustache. Which is not of skin color, we will just select it out. Okay, so this is not one of a very good selection, so let me just undo this. Let me zoom in and let me try to select it now. Okay, try to be as precise as you can, guys. Don't take me wrong for selecting young Mr. Gandhi, because yeah, I respect him, and this is a good photo to color. So let's say this is the mustache, and let me again copy it and put it in a different layer. and I select pressed control and I selected both the eyes, and let me copy the eyes and let me put it on a different layer. Face, and now I should be able to. So now we have a separate layer, mustache and face, and let's do it. Let me just uncheck the other layers and let me only the face layer should be visible. Okay. Thing. Let's try to select a face color. Which color? Let's try to get a skin color. Okay, this color looks okay. So it's just an trial and error, guys. Don't judge me on this. And let's just, oops, wrong layer. So we'll go to the face layer and let me put it on the face. Okay, so now it has come with the option. Okay, let's. It does not look very natural, right? On this and what overlay does is it try to merge the color with the background, but here the background is all black. So okay, this is one way. So let's try to see. Let's try to put everything else in place and see how it works out. Let's try to color the mustache black. So we are on the mustache layer, and let's color this. Okay, and again, see what happens on the overlay. Okay, so eyes are back, and let's see the whole thing. This is not on. This is not. Okay, so we did not color his hair. So let me try to color his hair. So let me use a different technique this time and see how it happens. So far what we have done is we have selected a particular area and colorized it. So let me go to this layer. This is the layer where we have the full thing, and let me take the paintbrush, black. So a complete black will not look very good. Okay, so anyway, let me just paint it with the paintbrush, and then let's work on that overlay thing, so that should help us do a better job. So there are various ways to do it. So depending on which one gives you a better result, you can select that. So here I'm colorizing it. So guys, just one thing, painting directly is not photo editing. Like it gives unnatural look. To make it natural, you'll have to do a bit more things. So I will show you that all the stuff in a bit. So here we go. So here we have colorized his hair. Okay. Now let's double click on this layer and see the overlay option. Okay, so it seems this is not working because we have it on a different layers. All right, so let's reduce it a bit. Okay, so let's do one more thing. This is the original copy. I'll unselect it. Okay, and these are various layers. See, you can see the difference. I unchecked it. Previously it had taken the skin color, but now if I check it, it has taken the white color. The mustache is okay, the face okay. Let's do some editing on the face. The black color, it does not okay, so let's do something like this. Okay, so now let's merge it down. Okay, so just select this layer and click on this merge layer down. It will merge the two layers. See, the above layer with the below layer, and here you go. And I don't want this original picture. Okay, so now that overlay thing is coming up because I have removed a layer. So let me delete this layer. Okay, now let's see. Now on this layer, let me go on adjustments and let me go to do it a auto level. Okay, this did not go to brightness and contrast. Try a color match. No, it just means let's go to hue and saturation and see if this will make it better. All right, so here it is giving us some control over the colors, so saturation. So you have to play with these sliders, right? So I think this is giving more of a skin color. Let's see on the darkness, lightness. Okay, so okay, so here it looks bit colorized, not the perfect thing. So this was one way of doing it, using it by the layer. And there is another way of doing it. So let me try to do that also. Let's see if that works better on this big photo. Again, as I said, everything depends on from photo to photo. On one photo you may get a good and again copy image. Bhavar Singh says nice, thanks Bhavar Singh, but I think that was not a very best thing. But let's see this another technique if we are able to do a better job. So let me pull it here. Okay, now I have put it on a different layer. Let's zoom in and let's target face only this time. Okay, let me zoom in and try to paint his face. Okay, again I'm telling you, directly painting is not going to give a natural look, and after that we have to do a lot of things. This is the second technique which I am showing. Here I have not divided into layers, so make sure I'm not very careful with the other parts. The parts which are not skin color, you need to avoid those things, so just colorize the parts which are skin color. Okay, okay, so here we go. actually doing a photo edit, you will have to be a lot more careful. uh, I'm just to save some time.